I wanted to make a video about anxiety and mostly not about anxiety, about the tools that I have learned to overcome it. So I just want to quickly make a disclaimer. I have not, for one, been clinically diagnosed with anxiety, and I am not a professional. Don't take it as medical advice. I don't know, I just feel like you need to say those kinds of things nowadays. So, anxiety. What I'm referring to is that unceasing knot somewhere in the chest or the stomach that just will not let up no matter what. If it gets bad enough, restricts breathing, makes your heart race, hands shake, that whole kind of thing, which I never experienced until I was basically an adult, until after I had moved away from my parents' house and I was living on my own. And that is when I started experiencing a ton of anxiety. And yes, there were a lot of things going on. I mean, I literally moved to another continent. I needed to learn how to drive. I shared a lot of these things already in another video, so I don't need to go into all those things. And then on and off since then, I have had some really big or long struggles with it. And I'm not at all saying that I don't struggle with it anymore, because I definitely do. But anytime that I am dealing with anxiety, it's just kind of like a couple of days that I get on it and then it's, gone, because what I found for myself really, really works. And so I just wanted to share that with you. So just quickly continuing in our journal journey fashion, I just wanted to read a little entry that I came across the other day that kind of fits to the topic. So this is February 2nd, 2017, and so this is just me praying and talking to Jesus. And I said, Jesus, I ask that you would turn this anxiety into wonder and awe. I know that there is so much beauty and value in mystery. I'm only anxious about things that I don't know. So Jesus, turn my anxiety into constant awe and wonder at your marvelous mystery. I hear you say in that indescribable voice of yours, will you trust me? And things just calm down within me. I can't control everything or really anything that goes on around me. I can't make things happen or make them not. So even if I choose control, my control is false because it doesn't even work. So yes, Jesus, I trust you. Oh, how could I not? Please forgive me for putting myself in your place, acting like God, acting like I can control the universe. For what is fear in the face of love? What is a shadow in the face of light? Thank you that you do all the work. Make it known well by me that I can't really do anything to get out of this. Yes, I can process. I can get to the root, and I can take deep breaths and speak over myself, but ultimately only you can set me free. Only you can restore me completely. Thank you that you are doing that already, and that is your nature, that you can hardly help yourself. So, and then the next day, another poem. I just wrote quickly a poem I wrote while I was out for a walk today, which, by the way, is one of my favorite things that I've ever written. So it goes, I won't deny myself the right to fully live before I die. I'll let the wind blow through my hair and on my face, draw water from my eyes, which catch the different shades of green, and sigh. I will create, I will enjoy this life, bring peace to a world of noise, and silence the echoes of death, by fully living in this life, extravagantly in every breath. One day at a time, there is no rush. I won't run too far ahead and leave behind what's rightfully mine. I will create, I will enjoy, and silence the echoes of death. So I suppose that brings me kind of to my first point, which is creativity. I think this is for myself kind of obvious because I am an artist and I've always, I think, needed to express myself and be creative in a way. And so then if there's a time in my life where I can't do that, it just, I don't know, it's really painting or just creating something, writing like those poems that I was writing in there, or taking a few pictures or playing a song or something that just there's something, and I really don't think it's just for artists. I think, yeah, almost anyone can understand that, but there's just something about creating that calms you, and it's a way that you can express what's inside of you. If you do struggle with anxiety, I encourage you to try, even if you're not an artist, to just try doing something creative and picking up some watercolors and just painting something. It's not even for the sake of making a beautiful piece of art, but it's just more for yourself. So anyways, that is point number 1. And the next one that I am coming to, this is honestly the main thing. I would say all the other things that I'm sharing today are kind of by the way, because this is really this is the thing that has really made the difference for me, which is I have realized that any time that I am dealing with anxiety, and so to be honest, with me, I don't know how it is with everybody else, but with me, a lot of times when I'm feeling just like this knot in my chest that just will not let go, and I simply can't be at rest no matter what I do, it feels like I can take deep breaths and I can go for a walk and I can paint or whatever, but it just will not let go. And sometimes it's not even a specific thing that I'm thinking about that is making me feel this way or something. It's just this feeling that's there, and I can't shake it no matter what I do, except for this one thing, which I realize when I'm feeling this, it is directly related to the way that I am feeling about and the things that I'm believing about God at the moment, which basically comes down to the question, do I trust God? Do I really believe that He's good? And because I've noticed this a lot of times after something really hard happens, for example, some of you may know, last year or the beginning of this year, my son needed to spend some time in the hospital. It was a really crazy, hard situation with a failed surgery. I won't go into the story, but and it was a situation that brought me to question, is God good? Because this terrible thing happened, and it felt like He didn't do anything about it. And again, that is a whole other topic for another day, not even a video, a series of videos that, and there's still questions that I am wrestling with. After this really hard thing happened, I found myself questioning, God, are you really good? Can I trust you with my future? Can I trust you with my family? Or do I just need to hold on and have this false sense of control that I can actually do it better than you? If that makes any sense. And so in this journal entry that I just read to you guys, that question does come up, or God asked me that question in that situation. Will you trust me? And I found that it always comes down to this. It always comes down to this question. Do I trust God? And I feel like I need to say as well, at least in Christian circles, that's something that we talk about so much. We always say, oh yeah, I'm just doing my best to trust God and putting it in His hands and not holding it in my hands. And I feel like I've done that a lot and just said those things without ever actually doing it. And I just want to let you know, there's a really big difference between having a concept in your mind that it's just something that you've always been told, and then actually doing it. Oh, there's a really annoying fly here. And it really wasn't until not too long ago, maybe a couple of years or something, max, that I realized this. Whoa, this isn't just a concept. I trust God. It's no, I take this thing that I'm holding, my fear of my future. Will I have my dreams fulfilled, or will this happen, or will bad things happen to me? This thing that I'm holding, and I literally just let it go. It's a literal thing, and obviously I can't necessarily explain or teach you how to do it because it's an unseen thing and it is really hard. But one tool that I can just share really quickly that sometimes I do, even if it's just maybe I have a lot on my mind, even if it doesn't necessarily have to do with anxiety, or there's just a topic that I've been thinking about a lot that's really hard for me at the moment or whatever. A tool that I use to stop myself from thinking about certain things is I imagine in my mind like a basket or a box. I just imagine in my mind like, okay, I'm taking this topic, my exam on Friday, and I put it in that box and I close the lid. And then anytime that I start like thinking about, oh my gosh, I need to study, or is it going to be okay, or whatever, that I remind myself, oh no, it's in that box, and I let it go. And obviously it's not like I just put it in the box and it just like, it takes practice and it takes discipline, and you do sometimes need to constantly, like every 30 seconds, keep putting it in that box again, so you actually train yourself to not think about it. But the thing is, you can. You really, really can. So bringing that all down to one is, if you're experiencing anxiety, ask yourself, what do I believe about God right now? Do I believe that He is a loving Father who is watching out for me, who knows my heart, who knows my needs, who wants the best for me? Or do I not believe that, and I'm just kind of trying to take control of my own life myself? Talking about the thoughts brings me to the next topic, which is meditation. Meditation. So for me, what meditation looks like I know a lot of people think of meditation as like trying to empty your mind or whatever, but how I see it is actually filling your mind with something specific. And I've heard, and maybe a lot of you have heard the example really often, like if you're constantly worrying about something, like I was just talking about, and it's constantly in your mind, you're meditating on it. You just need to change the topic. And so when it comes down to this, what am I believing about God? And I realize maybe I'm really not trusting Him, or I don't believe that He's good right now, or whatever, then I will start to meditate on whether it be actual verses from the Bible or just simple phrases. Like sometimes when I'm going to sleep at night and my mind is just kind of wandering and buzzing or whatever, and I make myself repeat over and over, God, you're good. Thank you that you're good. Thank you for your goodness. Thank you that you have good plans for my future. And just like keep repeating these things over and over in your mind. And I mean, there's literally a whole science to it that physically you can create pathways in your brain. I'm not an expert on that, and so I won't talk anymore about that. But and I just know that for me that is such a powerful tool. And I know the seasons when I'm really on top of that and I'm meditating on scripture and I have verses that I'm reading, or just simple phrases like that about truth about God and who He is and who I am in Him and all of these things, those are the times when I'm actually really thriving. So meditate on truth. And if you don't know what to meditate on, ask Him, ask God, hey, could you give me a phrase to meditate on? I think it just came into my mind, like one thing, I remember it was one phrase that for some reason, it was like anytime I would repeat it in my mind, all of the anxiety would just leave. And it was, you're good and you're with me. Saying that to God. God, you're good and you're with me. You're good and you're with me. You're good and you're with me. So maybe that can help you too. And then the last one is community. And as somebody who spends a very, very large part of my life alone, or at least not in interaction with other adults, community and just talking with somebody, and honestly sometimes even just getting your mind off of something, makes a huge difference. And so yeah, if you're like me, you don't always have that option, but for one, like having a real heart-to-heart conversation with somebody and opening up and just even sharing with them, maybe you don't know why you're feeling anxious, but just sharing with them that you are feeling anxious and they can just kind of stand with you in it. That can be really helpful. Or just having fun with somebody, getting together with a friend and chatting about whatever you like to chat about with that person. And I mean, there have been some times when it's like I'm fighting against anxiety and I do all these things and it just will not work. And then my husband comes home and we chat about our day, and then suddenly it's like, oh, I feel fine. So sometimes that's really just all you need, is to just have connection with another human being. Because I fully believe that we were created to be in connection with other humans. So that is what I have to share with you today. I really, really hope that could help you in any small way. And if you think it could help somebody else that you know, please share. Anyways, thank you so much for watching.